Welcome, 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 everybody, to another great episode of Real Life Matters. And of course, I am your host, DBoss. And I just hope that everybody's still continuing on doing their 15 minutes or more laughing every day. And, as I say, it's for the whole family. It's not just for one individual person or one individual age group. It's for everybody. It's free. It's good for the soul. It makes you feel better. It keeps your blood pressure down. It keeps everything going. And of course, it can help you lose some pounds off your abs. But I'm telling you, don't stop going to the gym. You could just keep going on with that because some people might have a little bit more abs than others. So we have to keep that in roll. But this is just in addition to keeps high blood pressure. It helps you if you laugh. And if you have a more strict job that you have to be every day, be like, well, then you need a little bit more than 15 minutes. And it goes very quickly, people. You could just look at something, laugh at something. You could turn something on if it's something's funny. And if you're doing it with your kids or your people or whoever you're doing it with, next thing you turn around, you've been laughing for like half hour, and then it's like, oh, okay. But anyways, today I got somebody here that's been in decades in the business. He's been doing marketing, uh, branding, some of the stuff that, like what I do, but he's been doing it for long, broadcasting. But he's come up with a book, The Divided Brain. And he's going to tell us about, where he came from, how he started. And we're going to get right into it with Paul Larche.
Hello.
Yes. Here you are, Mr. Larche.
How are you, DBoss? Glad to
I'm
be here.
okay. Yes. I just want everybody here at Real Life Matters. We'd like to know everybody what their culture or their background is.
Well, I'm as probably as Canadian as you can be because my ancestors came over from France in the 1600s. So we've been
Ooh,
here a long, long time.
okay.
Uh, but originally from Northern Ontario, and
Okay.
I've been living just north of Toronto in Barrie for the last 15 years or so. And it's just a lovely place to be, especially on a day
Yeah,
like
I
today.
know. A day like today, yeah, and we'll let you go and so you can enjoy the rest of your day and night.
No worries at all. I loved
All
your.
right. So
I just was going to say, I just loved your comments on laughing and how it's good for the soul. Couldn't agree
it
more.
is.
Yeah.
A lot of people have gave me a lot of feedback. They're feeling a lot better, because just don't think that you
Mhm.
can laugh by, oh, I don't want to laugh by myself, but it's good for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For sure.
All right. So tell me, so how did you get into all this?
Well, the book is the culmination of a lot of information that I've just had in mostly in my head for several years in the business I was in, which was, like you said, the same business you're in. I was in broadcasting, started off in radio broadcasting many years ago, and my background is having started out in radio and worked for different companies. I ended up working in Toronto in the 1990s for a company called Telemedia Network Radio, and we did the broadcasts at that time for the Toronto Blue Jays and the Maple Leafs, and we had stations all over North America that carried our programming. I also had the opportunity to work with marketing agencies then, and that were advertising. And eventually, I ended up owning my own radio station, and then radio stations. We added to our portfolio and had 5 radio stations in Ontario, and a branding agency. And in radio, the business is run on advertising. That's how we make our money is selling advertising. And one thing that we really worked hard at was trying to make sure that our clients, our advertisers, got good results. And having worked in big markets and small markets, a lot of the advertisers in the smaller markets just they didn't never had the opportunity to be coached on what makes good branding and what makes good marketing. So we really worked hard at trying to educate a lot of our advertisers into what makes good branding and marketing work. And like I said, this has kind of been in my head and added to over many years. And often I would do chats and I would speak at conferences, and people say, "Is there any way you can send me any information on that?" So I finally had the time in the last couple of years to just plug away at this book, and it comes out now, and I'm very anxious to see how people react to it.
All right, so give us a tip. So what's something that you could give people that's on good branding and good advertising? Something that they could do.
Well, most of the book is, I call it the divided brain because I've come up with a metaphor that makes, I think, human behavior a little bit easier to understand, because we're very unique creatures, and we sometimes make rational decisions, but often we make irrational decisions, and a lot of things that drive us to do certain things we're aware of, but also many times we're not aware of what really drives us to or motivates us to do certain things. And I can sum up the book by saying that we make decisions in the emotional part of our brain. I always say, like, we buy on emotion and we justify with facts. And the point of that is that, like I said, the metaphor is that there's two parts to our brain. One I call the old brain, which is really the parts of the brain that we share with almost every other creature out there, and has been developed over hundreds of millions of years. Our brain stem, those parts of our brain. The limbic system is also part of that, which is the part of the brain that we share with mammals. And that's the old brain. And then I refer to the new brain, which is our prefrontal cortex, which again hasn't been on the scene all that long. But for humans, that's really what separates us, from most of the animal kingdom, is that we have a much larger prefrontal cortex, and that allows us to do things like rationalize and think and plan and speak language and so on and so forth. So it's this connection between these two gears. I refer to them as two gears that usually work in sync. And but most decisions that we make are made in what we call the old brain. That old brain is very well honed, and the programming in it is very good, and it makes very fast decisions, usually at a subconscious level. Because its purpose for eons has been to keep us alive and keep us healthy and keep us out of danger and make sure that we can reproduce and keep our gene pool going. And so a lot of that is what drives us in our decisions. So the book talks about how you can tap into that to make people pay attention to what the messages that you may be wanting to get across.
All right, can we see a copy of the book?
The book is it's right here. Oh, sorry, it's there. It's a little
Okay.
blurry here. Anyway, it's
Yeah,
it's
well, it's a brain. And who designed that for you? Were you behind that saying, I want to put brain on the book, or did somebody help you?
I've had a few people. Oh, sorry, I've had a few people help me. I'm self-publishing the book, which I wasn't sure I would necessarily do or not, but I have some publishers that are helping me, that have published other books, and some that you've probably interviewed that have been very helpful to me. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a long time putting it together and getting it edited and reviewed, and getting some peers to review it, and some people I don't know, just to make sure that what I say in it is makes sense and is easy to understand. And this book is really for it's for people who have a curiosity about how our brain works, and but it's also for people who may be in business or starting a business, or they might be part of a startup, or they might work in a company where they have to share in some of the marketing processes. And it's really good for people who are just trying to get an understanding as to what gets through and what doesn't in this noisy world we live in.
And I guess it's hard for creatives like you and myself, when you have everything in there,
Mm-hmm.
you just know what you have to do.
Right, absolutely.
But it's
Yeah.
hard to relate it. It's hard to relate it sometimes to other people, but you get it out there, but sometimes it's just a little difficult to explain, like, how did we come up with that? Well,
Yes. Yeah, and that's what this metaphor is about: the divided brain and the two gears, and the old brain and the new brain. I try to explain it so that people don't have to go back to school and become, a PhD in psychology or neuroscience to understand the fundamentals. Now, this isn't a textbook. This isn't, PhDs are not going to read this and learn anything out of it. This is more for people who just want an introduction to how the brain works and how they can tap into some of this information to help them, in their business, and particularly if they're doing marketing. But also, I think what I hope people get out of the book is how they make decisions themselves, and how they maybe they can think twice about some of the decisions that they may make, and how we can sometimes reflect on things when emotion gets the best of us. I try to use a lot of examples of how it's helped me in life and in business and personally. And like I said, I hope there's some good stories that people can relate to throughout the whole book that'll connect, and people say, yes, I've done exactly that same thing.
well, it takes special people, because you probably get asked, how do you do that? How do you do this? How do you think of that? How do you know how to ask? you know, it's just, but the thing is that, if you're made to do it, you shouldn't be stressed out about it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? If you're made to do something, it shouldn't stress you. It should just flow.
Mhm.
That's what I, yes, some people could try to be you or try to be like you, but it's not gonna go like you, because they don't know what's
No, and
going on.
that's exactly how I position the book to
Hmm.
potential advertisers, is to that you have to talk to people in their language, in their
Hmm.
environment, and that is usually using some form of emotion, like connecting to them on an
Hmm.
emotional level. How is this going to make me feel if I use this product or this service? Is it going to make me feel better or worse? And that's how you have to connect for people to pay attention. And it's not necessarily with all the facts and figures and the horsepower and the gigabytes and the all the those features that people like to necessarily talk about. And that's again where that book came from, is because many of our advertisers are so proud of their product or service, and they like to talk about all the little details about it. But at the end of the day, most customers who are going to use it really want to know how it's going to help them. How is it going to help in their life? Is it going to take away a
And
problem?
then and then there's some customers and clients that want to know everything, but I said, listen, there's not about what for
Yeah,
everything. It only
yeah,
do what applies to you
exactly.
and
And
your business.
and again, that's why when I talk about you buy on emotion and justify with fact, is the
Mhm.
new brain. Its default role is often to justify what our old brain has already made a decision on. It's just like when
Mhm.
we make an impulse buy. And then our new brain will give us all the reasons why it was a good impulse buy. It's going to save us money. We're going to look good in it. And, then sometimes after a day or two, the new brain will think a little closer to it, and then we'll get some buyer's remorse. Like, was that necessarily the right thing for me to do? Because you got excited when we purchased it. So that's an example of how the new brain and the old brain work together, is that the new brain will often just help you rationalize why you did that. And that's why in marketing, I'm not saying you never talk about facts and figures, you do, but you lead with emotion and then you follow up with that, so that you allow our new brain, we call it, to help you justify all the reasons why it makes sense.
All right. So how much is the book that you had to
Well,
give to?
there's an ebook version of it, which is $9.99, which is available
Oh,
at Amazon. And then if you want a printed book version of it, that's $23.99, and that'll you can get that through Amazon as well, or you can get it at Indigo and
mhm.
pretty much any bookstore anywhere around the world. In the U.S., it's available on Amazon as well as Barnes and Noble and most major bookstores. So but it's just coming out, so it's still new.
Okay. Well, that's okay. So are you going to be working on anything else? Maybe a part two, or are you just going to wait and see how this one goes?
Well, I'll certainly see how the reaction goes to this. I hope that some people get something out of this, and I mean, if there's any companies that want me to come and talk to them, or to speak if they're having a conference or something like that. I'm open to doing those types of things. Because sometimes people just need a refresher on some of the basics of marketing and understanding human behavior, understanding how people make certain decisions, and making sure that maybe there's an easier way for them to understand how to approach that, and in a way that makes sense.
And if they listen,
Well,
so
that's
that's
just
the
it.
key.
But again, that's
That's
why
the
you need
key thing.
emotion, like emotion. And you're a great example. You're very emotional when you talk. You got a big smile. You're very inviting. You talk about laughing, and that you're doing all the things I talk about in the book. Is that
Oh wow.
you're leading with emotion, and that's a good thing. If you were just sat there and you were kind of dry, and you
Mm,
weren't smiling like you wouldn't be as engaging as you are. Now,
yeah,
people don't consciously think of you that way. That's just the way you are, and
yeah.
that's very inviting, and that's why you do what you do, and you're good at it. Is
Hmm.
because you exude that naturally. So your marketing and advertising, no matter how you're doing it through social media or through radio or however you're doing it, has to be the same way. It has to be, people have to feel that they don't feel like their guard is up. And like I said,
Yeah.
you allow yourself into people's homes and you can talk to them and they already feel comfortable. So you're a good example of what I talk about. But a lot of times marketing and advertising is not like that.
Where's my money?
I'll give you your cut.
Where's my coin? Give me my book.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just playing. I just playing. Ah,
No, and you're sincere too. Like, you're not, people can tell when people are not sincere, and especially in today's world. And people see through that right away. And
they do.
people, they want sincerity, they want honesty, they want to know if this is going to make them feel better. Sometimes they're not even sure exactly how it'll make them feel better, but they know it will. We have many subconscious drivers that come from evolution and come from just the fact that this, is what's kept us alive for many years. And a lot of those are drivers in the way people do things. And also, it has a lot to do with memory too. The new brain is really where our short term memory is. It's just a parking spot, but the old brain is where long term memory is, and that's where, if you have a product or a service, or if and often the brand is the person, like DBoss, that's your brand,
Hmm.
and you want people to remember you, and you want that to get lodged into the old brain, and that has to be done through activating emotion, which, like I said, you're already doing. So
Yeah.
you're halfway
Thank
there.
you.
That's how people will
Thank
remember.
you. I'm getting evaluated by a professional. Thank you.
There you go. Well, I'll pass. I'm passing.
I've never been told that, so it's good.
Yeah, keep on doing it. Don't change.
Right. All right. So, are there any shout outs that you want to give to anybody who helped you along the way?
Well, I've had a lot of friends that have helped me, that are in my inner circle. That my background's blurred here, but there's music equipment behind here, and I play
Oh,
in a band as an amateur musician. But
wow.
so I have a lot of guys that are in my band that are professionals. One's a cardiologist, one's a lawyer, one's a this, and so they've all had a chance to kind of help me through it, and in my family as well. I have three daughters that are in psychology. Either,
Psychology. Wow.
yes, either at university or having already graduated. One's a therapist, so
Okay.
I have access to some professionals to get some additional information if I need it.
Well, and they're close at hand, literally.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
All right. So, if people want to purchase the book, I know you mentioned it before, or if people want to follow you on social media or to find out what's going on, or maybe ask you any questions, where can they reach you?
Well, the easiest way is to go to the book's website, which is my name. I know it's not very original, but it's paullarche.com. So it's Paul, then Larche is LARCHE.com. So paullarche.com. If you go there, all the information on the book is there. All the links to where you can buy it is there. There's some people who do buy the book. There's some graphs and there's some exercises that I have in there that they can download if they want to from the website. Some PDFs that complement what any of the exercises that they might want to do themselves in the book. So that's the best place to go. But if you just really want to get the book, just go to Amazon. That's
Okay.
Amazon is the quickest way to get it.
And people reach out to Paul, he likes to hear comments or something. If you're struggling, no question is not important. Every question is important.
Absolutely.
So, because
yeah,
it's
sure.
important
No,
to you,
love
right?
to hear.
So if you're not sure,
would very much love to hear any comments after people have a chance to look at the book, and I appreciate your thoughts, and I'm welcoming in them actually. So,
all right. Well, I do want to thank you, Paul. This is Paul Larche here,
Larche.
and Larche. Why don't I say why am I saying Larche? I don't know. Maybe I was thinking something in French. Larche. Well, your last name is French. Larche, right?
It is. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so Larche. En français, c'est Larche.
C'est
Okay.
Larche.
Larche. So, all right. So, you guys, when you come back, if you got something else new, something else, exciting that happened or something, just let me know. But, let us know here. But it's been a pleasure, going through your journey. And look at now, you penned your journey. So,
yes. Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you too, DBoss. And I wish you all the luck on your show. And maybe I'll come back on again sometime.
Okay. All right. So I do want to thank the audience tonight. Me and Paul Larche, his journey. You guys go get the book, The Divided Brain. So go get it, please. Get it, make comments, let him know what you think. There's the Audible version, which is $9 or 9 something. And then there's the of course, if you want to get the actual book, it's $23.95. So you can get it, but he's giving you all kinds of options, and you can go to his website and you can download all kinds of anything that you want to do. So go ahead, don't be reserved if you think you know it all, because you don't. So we just don't want to say it, but I'll say it, and he won't say it, but I said it.
You're saying it very well and with a lot of emotion, so you're doing it perfectly. Thank you.
All right. So good night, everybody. Have a good evening.
Take care.